right. Welcome to another episode of Life According to Brian.
And Jason.
Hey, Jason, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good, Brian.
Right. Hey, got through Christmas. We're hitting the new year, and I think what a perfect time to talk about plans and goals for 2026. And you're a fun dude. And do you have some fun goals for this next coming year?
Fun goals, yes. I was thinking about this when you asked me. I go, what would be a fun goal for me to do? And I'm thinking what I want to do, Brian, is do a road trip to a place I have never been.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I want it to be a place where it's like, what? Why are you going there? You know, it's not going to be to a beach. It's not going to be for the mountains. I want to go to a place that's like, why are you going there? You know, it's like, what is up with that? So as I do this, I want to intentionally research a place that I have not been. Now, I've been out to the western part of our great country many times. So I was actually thinking of going east. I'm in Colorado, Denver metro area. So I was thinking, where can I go that I've not gone before? Because I love road trips. I don't know about you, Brian, but just getting in the car, going, talking, seeing the landscape change and stuff. But the fun part would be I'm going somewhere that it's like I've never been there before, and why am I going there? You know? Am I looking for the big ball of twine? I kind of want to say, yeah, I've been there. And they're like, what? The biggest ball of twine? Yes, I've seen it. I kind of already have somewhat of a, well, that's cheating though. But I have a cheat goal, but I'm not going to do that. To go, so I can't do this. As I'm talking to you, I can't go to Devil's Tower because I've been to Wyoming many times. But to go to Devil's Tower, you got to turn and go almost 2 hours to that solitary
why not though?
Monument
it's
and
epic.
then go. It is, but I want to go in a state that I've never been in. That's my goal. Have you been to Devil's Tower?
Yeah, well, long time ago. I've been there a couple different times, and I loved it. I loved the cool little walking path that kind of goes around it. It's got a great vibe. I need to go back again. I don't think I've been there in maybe 15 years. So yeah, it's great. Can't go wrong.
It's like a destination. You're going there. You know, it's kind of like in Colorado. You know, you got to go to Telluride. There's no, I think I might drive past Telluride, Colorado. No, you got to go there.
Yeah, just geographically, it's kind of out in the middle of nowhere. But while you're out there, what else could you explore and do? And I don't know. I mean, Tanis and I did that one lap around America after I retired, where we did a full perimeter around the United States. And we tried to travel kind of, so to speak, one road off of, where everyone else travels, so if that's the busiest road in that state, what's the road to the east or the west of it that's slow going? That's our jam, is get into the back roads, go to other places that maybe not many people have seen, those hidden gems. Sometimes just putting your finger on the map and be surprised what cool stuff's out there that you don't know about.
Yeah. So for me, a road trip, Brian, where I have not been, forcing myself to go in a direction.
Yes.
And just, what am I going to find? So what would be your fun goal?
Well, as a side note, you and Andy, you're road warriors. I mean, you guys just bust out the miles like nobody. Let's do 12 hours in the car today. No problem.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah, you guys are good. Tanis and I aren't quite that. We travel a lot, but our truck seats only give us about 8 hours, I have to say. So maybe it's the vehicle. I don't know. But fun goal for the year. Well, we are getting back to traveling, and I love surprise trips, but I also like traveling a little different. And I have to say, I already have my fun goal laid out for the year. We're going to go back to in the fall, the country of Croatia. Loved it the first time.
Mm.
We're going back the second time, but this time we're going to do a biking and sailing tour together. So it's like you rent bikes when you're over there. They put it on the boat and you sail to an island and you ride across an island. So, and then the boat swings around the island, picks you up at the end of the day. You sleep on the boat and then you hit the next island. So we're going to work our way down the Croatian coast from like Split to Dubrovnik, and never done that. So I'm cheating when I say my fun goal. I already know what I'm doing. I think my second fun goal, might as well double dip, right? Come on.
Why not?
I want to go out and do some kind of weird Arkansas biking thing. I haven't decided yet. I love bikes, so I'm thinking maybe I could go do a mountain bike enduro race. Enduro racing is they set you up on a trail and it's just you against the clock. They'll say, okay, if you start here and you're going to end here, could be short, half a mile, could be a mile. And you just try to get down that trail and then usually do anywhere from 5 to 10 different sections of that in a day. Or I've looked at cyclocross. Maybe that's a fun goal. It's kind of a weird sport in itself, but they're starting a club here in Bentonville, and I went and checked them out. The third one might be bike polo. I know a dude that's advertising to set up a bike polo team down in Bentonville, so I don't know. All three of them sound fun, so I just got to pick my fun.
Dude, I got comments on all that. Dude, first of all, how fun you and Tanis putting both your loves of biking and being on the water for that one goal. That's a nice marriage of that.
Right.
And second, your bike polo thing. Dude, when I was a kid, we used to play tag on our bikes. Loved it. When you said that, I was like, oh, you have to have a good bike that is nimble, takes you around.
Right.
It was great fun. So, but watch out, man. You never know what might happen.
Well, I upgraded my health care despite all the health care costs going sideways. So, I went from a low level plan to a medium plan, silver plan this year, and just in case. But,
you're just prepping.
Prepping.
Yes, but interesting. As we go through these goals, we have not talked, but both of us had travel. You were kind of going to a place you've been, but doing something different, and I'm going to a place that I've not been, just on purpose. Interesting.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And you and I can figure out other fun things. I know we're going to get together, maybe do a baseball trip, but there's no shortage of fun. But I think the big thing is, what's your big fun that you got to save for, you got to plan for, that you really want to do? I like let's just go for it. Let's find a place on the map and go.
Yeah, for days. This would be a several day trip. So that's why I have to plan, save, get the time off.
Right.
Do all that. So
just wandering, just go and wander. Yes.
Yep.
Who doesn't? Yeah, I know most trips. And this is why I appreciate Tanis so much, because when I hooked up with her, I'm like, oh, I got to learn how to travel differently, because her method of travel is, where you're starting and you know where you're ending. In the middle, don't know anything.
Yeah.
So you have to fill in the gaps as you go, and that's either internationally or domestically, and occasionally we'll throw something in the middle, kind of some bookends, places you got to be maybe in the middle of your month trip or 2-week trip, but it's very freestyle. So if I hear you right, go freestyle this summer.
Yeah, just freestyle.
Yeah. Freestyle travel.
And see what happens. So that's my fun goal.
All right. Well, all right. We're both aging. You just had a birthday.
What?
You got to start having health goals, buddy. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, What's your health goal for 2026? What do you think?
Well, getting out, walking is good. Sometimes that isn't always the most easy thing to do, boring or something like that. So mine is playing disc golf. However, I have a caveat with that. I've played disc golf on and off for 40 years. And what I've been doing recently is at my school, we have a new disc course we set up because we had some renovations, which is very good. But I can go to a park and just hit things, and that's fun. But part of my health goal is to play disc, which I try to do every day after school when it's nice. But I'm going to be working on my forehand. I have my backhand really good, but sometimes I go out and I just do my forehand. So also, as we're getting older, 50 plus, you want to learn new things as well. So I'm it's been challenging because I'm not as accurate. I can't do as good. I'm trying different discs. So it has been hard. My son is very good at the forehand. My daughter is very good at the forehand. I'm pretty accurate with my backhand. So for me, getting out, walking every day on the disc course or in a park, hitting things and working on my forehand. So I've only really started just a little bit here, like past 2 weeks. But as the new year comes, my goal is to be walking every day. And to do that, I'm going to play disc golf and use my forehand.
Right. No, I agree. Yeah, you came out here in Arkansas, a couple months ago? We went and played disc golf over here locally. We have a sweet little course, and
yes, you do.
I noticed a stark improvement in your play. Dude, you were throwing straight. You were just throwing dimes on some holes. It was like, wow. Okay,
yes,
I can tell.
Some hole.
But I could tell you've been practicing because I did practice, and you just notice, you notice when someone's actually doing the work of improvement. And I think you hit on it right there. Your goal is actually my goal, not in terms of disc golf, but consistency.
Yes.
I'm already busy, I'm outdoorsy busy, but there's a difference between consistent walking. If you go walk 2 days a week, great. But it's not the same as six or seven. That's going to pay dividends versus your 2 days. Maybe not. So I think for me, the movement, consistently moving, every day, not just a little, but a lot. So whether that's a bike ride, that's 10 miles plus. If I walk, I try to hit 8,000 steps or more. So that puts you in the 4 mile range. I've noticed when I've walked in the past that physically once you start hitting between 3 and 5 miles, there's a noticeable difference in your health.
Right.
And, but you gotta be consistent. And I think that's the biggest piece I've failed on in the past years is you gotta do it every day. There's really no rest day when it comes to your health.
No, but keeping it interesting, changing it up.
Right.
So that's important too. Learning things.
Yeah, good. Okay. So what you're saying is the next time we play disc golf, I'm just going to get whooped.
No, because you're going to go out and you're going to do a little disc after this conversation.
Oh my God. Oh, the woods here are nasty because I always throw them into the trees and there's just stickers and thorns and everything in Arkansas is trying to kill you in the woods, I swear.
Yes. So. You, by the way, have a good forehand, buddy.
So
your forehand is nice. See, I'm trying to achieve what you already have.
Well, I got that angle weird thing. So you got a nice straight throw. So I would take that any day. So we'll see. Who knows?
Yep.
I might surprise you. All right, man. One thing that you always have to do, I believe, and so for our audience out there is, I always used to say, we got to have a goal, especially to my staff. We got to have a goal. I was a principal. Got to have a goal that scares us. If we're not doing a goal that seems scary, big, monstrous, unachievable, what's the point? And personally, you should have a big scary goal every year. So Jason, what is your absolute scariest goal for 2026?
Well, it's scary to us, and that we have lived in our house going on 24 years. So you go back and forth, back and forth. So the goal is to make possibly moving real. And, everyone says, oh, I'm moving. I'm sitting in my house, not doing anything. Well, this year we want to seriously downsize, make some decisions. Basically, the big scary is making decisions. What are we doing with this stuff, that stuff? Getting the house to become nimble. Now, whether we move this year or next year, we're, seeing that. But actually taking the plunge as I look around the house here and I'm like, yep, we don't need that. Right. Doing projects, not just saying it. We gotta work on the, outside of the house. We gotta move this. We gotta paint this. No, we gotta do it.
Yep.
And I know that doesn't sound scary to some, but when you're in a home or a place for a really long time, it can just be kind of like you're walking through, wet sand.
Oh, totally. I understand that. It's one of, I lived in the same house for, let's see here. We were in that house for at least 15 years before, and then I got divorced. And then I was kind of forced into changing and moving all the time. And I've moved quite a bit since then. And so to me, just packing up and going is not a big deal. Why? Because I practice it.
Yeah.
But you've been in one place for a long time. And that's a big task. I know. We, as you know, we both have parents that are in the same predicament. You got to downsize, you got to change later in life, and we've tried to navigate that even within our own family. But yeah, dude, let me know how I can help. Sometimes you got to bring people into the picture to get your momentum going.
Right. I just got to also start. Showing up every day. That's the biggest thing. Showing up every day and just starting. But for me, my big scary would be working on the house because we're moving.
Right. You need to write that down. Put it up on the wall. Show up every day. Goal one. Goal one. Have fun. Throw disc.
Drive somewhere you don't know. Yeah, drive wherever.
That's right. Well, I think for me.
What's yours?
I retired out of education and I worked for the government for a long time. When I think back when I was in college, in late high school, I really wanted to be a business owner. I started in business in college. I worked in the bike industry. I worked in a bike warehouse and retail, and I thought that's what I'm doing. And, then I started working with kids in this nonprofit and kind of fell in love with education. I really didn't want to do education. My mom was an educator, but fell in love with it. 36 years later, here I am. And now I'm like, I really got to start a business. And so that's my big scary goal is I've done all my homework and just want to make sure, I'm doing it in a way that doesn't affect us financially. But, there's risk. And that's the big thing is, can I mitigate any kind of risk? Done my homework, but yeah, I think I'm going to start 2 businesses in 2026. One is
not one,
but 2, maybe a third if I'm successful. But sometimes you have to really motor. And you just got to find out what sticks and what works. And one thing I'm pretty good at is working with my hands. And so I'm going to try a home services or handyman business in my local area. And then the second thing is I started woodworking as a hobby. And then people tell me, oh, some of this is pretty good. So I'm going to try that and see where it takes me. So yeah, I occasionally find myself looking at the job market going, well, I guess I could go do that. But then I'm working for someone else.
Right.
I think while I have the opportunity, the time, and the resources to do it, try to figure out how to work for myself And for a lot of people out there who already work for themselves, oh, that doesn't sound scary. But when you worked for an organization or other people your whole life, stepping out on your own, that's a big scary deal. You know?
Totally, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Showing up every day. You're going to show up every day twice, maybe 3 times.
All right. And what I've learned is you work 7 days a week and you work at weird times. Like I'll be out in the garage working on some, 7, 8 at night, working on my business at 10 at night, early in the morning, whatever. I have to learn how to market. Never had to learn how to do marketing in education,
Right.
And so yeah, there's all this foreign stuff you gotta, it's like all this business setup, LLCs, and you gotta find attorneys, and you gotta, in Arkansas there's a certain business setup, and you gotta pay what's called a registered agent out here, and there's all this business stuff. So I switched from the education books of my life to business books.
Well, I kind of like that. You're going to your roots.
Yeah,
like
going back full circle.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So 40 some years later, it's time to start a business, Jason.
Well, I think that's a good, big scary goal.
It's a big scary goal. So anyway, and I hope people weigh in, like what are big scary goals for other people? Like I'm going to go ask Tanis, what's her big scary goal for this year? And, it's always nice to reset yourself. I know a lot of people say, well, New Year's resolutions don't work. I kind of disagree. One thing I've learned that really has worked for me is I blitz things in 3-week chunks. I move it way down to 3 weeks, and I actually print out a calendar, and I box it out. In these 3 weeks, I want to achieve this. That seems much more manageable than saying 2026, and
right.
So that's kind of how I got this far. I mean, last year I set up a couple of YouTube channels. I started this podcast. I did all my business infrastructure. I spent a lot of time out in the workshop creating products I think people could sell out there. So it was a year of research, right? But I had to do it in chunks. You just can't say, oh, I'm just, my goal's this at the end of the year. No one can do that. So I like the 3-week model. Just mark out and say, by the end of this time, I have to have 2 products I can sell on Etsy. And that's what I did. And then, okay, did I come up? Oh, I did 2. Doesn't mean they're going to sell, but in that time, I was very focused, And then what's my next 3 weeks? And so you just kind of have to be your own, you have to have a concept that works for you. What's your...
Sure, it's your passion, and
right.
It's your goal. Just like these goals are like, oh, I've already done that. That's easy. Well, we haven't. Right. So that's why it's your goal.
Right. And everyone's got to figure out how can you get some momentum, and sometimes you take off too big a goal. Like I look at our goals and they're pretty big, but now we have to back way up and chunk it. How do you make micro goals manageable? And if like you said, if you get out and walk 3 days in a week, next week could I do 4? Before you know it, you're out playing disc golf 6 out of 7 days a week,
Right.
But you just can't swing for the fence the first time and say, I'm doing all 7 this week.
Right. Let's go.
Right. In 3-week time, like how many times could you go out and play disc golf or whatever? And, so yeah, I think that's one thing I've learned in 57 years is micro goals in time make up your big goals.
Yep. Showing up every day, just getting up, showing up, doing it.
Right. Yep. Even if it's like you throw the disc for 5 minutes in a day, it's better than not picking up the disc and throwing it. Right.
True.
So yeah. Well, dude, guess what?
What?
Oh, we are out of time, my friend.
That happens.
You always sound surprised every time I say it. Well, friends, thanks for joining us again on Life According to Brian.
And Jason.
And remember to follow us on all the different platforms out there and leave us a comment. Thanks for joining us. Bye.